Hello, my brothers and sisters. My name is Tim Heijen, and I am a dragon witch. I hope I can explain to you a bit more about the dragon's path, because in a way, the dragon spirituality is the most difficult one to explain of all spiritualities. Because I have no path to show you. I have nothing to show you, to be very honest. For every one of us, every individual has a different path to go on and a different dragon to follow. A different dragon god with different kind of plans for you. That is why it's so difficult actually to explain to you what you need to do, because I cannot say what you need to do. And that is not what you can do with dragons, witches, or dragons themselves to say what they have to do. That is what you have to find out. But the thing that I can share with you is where it all begins, where everything begins. There was no one that told me about the dragon, no one that said what I need to do. I just had an awakening. And that is where we begin, all of us. It begins with the realization that once we have a dragon by our side, it touches your spirit and it gets awakened. And you see the world with different eyes. From there on, there are so many stages to go through, so many revelations, new things to discover, things that you might forgot about yourself, going back to when you were a baby, just untouched by humans, unspoiled by humans, because that is what poisoned us inside of this world. The things that humans taught us and things that they said what we are and what we need to do. We need to forget all of that. And that is something that we learn inside of our draconic spirituality and our draconic awakening. It all begins with an awakening. And you will see the world with different eyes. I always see the first thing that I saw once I was awakened by the dragon was by seeing the world with dragon eyes. And that doesn't mean that you are going to immediately be the dragon. No, that means that you will see everything in a different perspective. That you won't see it as before. You will never see it as before. And it can be because you are not fully that you didn't really developed yet. From the moment that you are awakened, you are a little infant dragon. You have to learn everything again because you are not fully awakened yet. It's just the beginning. The realization that you are going to be touched by the dragon, but the realization that you have a dragon spirit, that not everything is as it seems. The first thing that I saw was humans. And to be very honest, I had developed a lot of hatred for humans for not knowing anything. They are so blind to see anything that they follow an entire path that everyone follows, that you say to the people, you don't need to follow that, that is just a lie. When people see a light, they are going to be blinded. You finally see it once you see the world with dragon eyes. You say to them, don't follow that light, it lies, but no one will pay attention for that, because dragons see through everything. And that is what you will see from the first moment once you have your awakening. The realization that you think that this is your human experience that you have. Everything is chaos in the beginning of your awakening. And this chaos will eventually lead to your ego death. Because that is why you are so angry with people. Because your ego is still that of a human. And it needs to die. It needs to go away. And that will eventually happen inside of your draconic awakening. Everything you know will be challenged. Everything that they told you will be challenged. That you will think for your own self. And that you will learn about your humanity. That your humanity is not what it seems. It's not that it's superior. It's not at all. That there is something, it's all an illusion. And that is something that you discover once you are going to be awakened by the dragon. It's all an illusion. Just these fingers. It's not real. Something inside of it that is surrounding it is your true self. And that is what you will learn inside of your draconic awakening. Searching for the truth and searching for your true answers and lore, and that is our obsession once we are awakened. What is going on? We need answers. Who are we? To be very honest, who are we? What is the purpose of our existence here? Why are we here? If this is all just an illusion, then what is our purpose here? And that is what you will ask yourself in this draconic awakening. Maybe not in the first moments, but later on, you will ask yourself, what are we actually doing here? We are feeling the higher purpose, the higher self, but not the reason why. So that is also our search that we do inside of our draconic awakening. Because an awakening in itself is not just from the beginning. Yes, from the first moment you will feel that, and everything will change from that day on. And then it's going to be an entire journey with several phases that you will go through. And asking yourself, what the hell are we doing here? Your true nature, and that is where the masks fall off. From a moment, you will suffocate with your human mask. Your human mask will. In fact, I had this from the beginning that I couldn't stay human all the time, and I had a lot of difficulties with this. But I learned to act like others. I learned to be like others. I put on a mask. But there will be a moment inside of your awakening that this human mask will suffocate you, that it will fall off, and that you will show your true nature. You will go again from the moment that you were a child, when you were a baby, untouched by civilization, that you will just, you were yourself 100%, that you are unspoiled, or that you are not touched by humans, or they will not by their words and by their, they want to see you how they want to see you, how they prefer to see you. And that is not what you are. You, my brother or sister, you are a human, but with a dragon energy. And this dragon energy is going to rise all the time. You will understand much more, but we can't hold on to that mask all the time. So we can go back to our childhood once we are a baby even. So life changes at that moment. It's a transformation. That transformation that you won't see from the outside, but you will feel that transformation from the inside. You will have these claws, you will have this tail, you will have the horns. You will completely change into the dragon in that stage of the draconic awakening. And nobody will see it, but inside of yourself, you become much more as your spirit does, as your spirit is. And of course, you find eventually, you will find your purpose. You will find your place here on earth. And you will look at humans, but no longer with hatred, because it only suffocates you. This hatred is makes now place for a light and balance darkness. I mean, light and dark balance. And of course, with peace for yourself. That you have peace for yourself, that you have forgiveness for others, and that you will see the connection between nature, the elements, life in itself, the animals, everything that you will see as the one gigantic energy that you have to go through. That this life is your human experience. This is not a draconic experience. You are the dragon, but you have a human experience here in this life. In this life, we need just to find our place. And once we are going to be awakened, it's not easy. It's challenging. It's very challenging. In fact, I always say to the dragon, why have you actually do that? Why have you done that? Because if I wasn't awakened, I could be like everyone else. I just could be that sleeping dragon, you can say, but I could lead a life that was normal. But the dragon actually responded by saying, do you prefer that? Do you really prefer that? To be asleep for your entire life, and that you won't find the dragon, that you won't find who you truly are. And that is really it. We just find ourselves through that awakening, that draconic awakening. It's so powerful. You cannot hold that back. Once you are open for it, everything is going to change. You will see the world with different eyes, with dragon eyes. You will have this realization that these people, these humans, they are not like you. They are nothing like you. And later on, you will also know and realize that most of the people and animals have different lights. And that is why it seems like you don't belong. And the more that you are awakened, the more draconic you will become, the more that you have distance with the others. But you will find peace eventually with the others. Of course, there are a few who are going to challenge you very, very much. Because you will always have enemies in this world, always. But it doesn't mean that you don't have to have this self-compassion, peace for yourself. Eventually you have to find peace for yourself. Inside of our awakening, we are trying to find and search for the peace and the answers as well. That you are going to be one with the God. Who is your God? You will find that out inside of your draconic awakening. And that is for a shock for everyone that I said my God is a dragon. In fact, it's a goddess. My goddess is the dragon. For everyone is shocking because they have different lights. But I'm telling to you, my brothers and sisters, that you have to find a way, a time for yourself to find your God, to find your connection with nature, to find your connection with the elements, that what kind of an element is the strongest with you. You will find all that answer. And what is your purpose here in this world? Your ego needs to die. That ego is what people teach you. That ego needs to go away and be replaced, make place for the sleeping dragon that is now rising inside of yourself. That people will say how strange it is. No, people don't even need to know that. I'm telling this to you, my brothers and sisters, because you are like me. I know that you have a dragon within you and that you have to let it rise, or else you won't find videos. You won't search for videos like this. You have this dragon within you. You had this. You are maybe in the middle of that awakening of so many answers that needs to be solved, so many riddles that needs to be solved, so many answers or for your questions that needs to be asked, needs to be responded to. And you will have that eventually, but you need to have patience. This I'm inside the dragon's path for 20 years, and inside of these 20 years I still have a lot of questions. But of course, all of these revelations make you much more of what you really are. Eventually I named myself a dragon witch. A dragon witch for humans, because they don't understand it. They will burn me at the stake back in the day. And a dragon for dragons. Dragons see you. Your dragons see you as one of them. But humans see you also as one of them, but as the odd one out, as the strange one. So that is how a dragon awakening actually works. It is challenging, it's different, but it will eventually change you for who you really are. And that is the dragon.